Welcome back. So in this module we will create some secondary effects. We'll create some fire burning off the engines as it crashes to the ground. So let's just see what frame it's going to actually crash into the ground at. So about frame 80, let's have the engines burning off, because when it hits the ground the big explosion will pretty much cover everything. So we're going to have some trails and it's going to burn off pretty fast, and it'll take some of the fire from the initial explosion and maybe die off into just smoke by the time it hits the ground. So to do this, I'm going to create just some simple sources. And I'm going to create that here, and let's snap that to the back of the engine here. And we're going to kind of just blow this back the way it's going to be going here. And then we'll just parent this along. So maybe and it's not really necessary to have any collisions in here. I don't think so. So just kind of place it around the engine. There we go. So, parent constrain this. And let's just duplicate that and move it over. And delete the old constraint. And if we press G, we'll just duplicate the last command. So there we have it. So now let's just set up a few attributes here. Now since we're starting on frame 10, the actual hit itself, I want to maybe emit fire for a little while and have the fire die off about halfway through, but the smoke to keep emitting almost the entire length of until it crashes into the ground. So let's just go up here to simple source, and let's see here. Let's keep it on for 10 frames, and let's key that on here. And we can just keep the oxygen on the whole time, and key the temperature and smoke. We'll just leave the smoke on until we get to maybe frame 70. We'll key that down. Okay, so let's just create these keyframes on the other emitter. And let's say by frame 80, it's completely off. And so oxygen doesn't really make a difference when there's no fuel or temperature, so that doesn't really matter. And this is all just kind of personal preference on what you're trying to achieve, but I just want to have a little bit of fire to go with the chopper and then die out and just have smoke go the entire way. Now for the smoke, let's key that on at 70. Say value of 2. And then let's key it off as well at frame 80. So it's going to be smoke pretty much the entire length of the sim here. And so obviously, since we're traveling so fast, we don't want the object velocity to be this much, so I'm going to drop that down. I know a value of 1 is going to be too much, so let's just do a quarter for now. And I don't think we're going to need to blow it back. We're not going to need to blow it back anymore because we're traveling forward so fast. And the radial, we don't need to blow it out so much. I suppose we could if we wanted to, but I'm just kind of more interested in having these streaks of fire going down with the smoke. And the turbulence, I'm going to put the maximum amount of turbulence, and let's just drop the scale to be relatively, I think this is the same as what we had in our other source. So the turbulence values are fairly similar. to what we had here in our body source. So that'll match up. Whoops, I meant a value of a scale of 5, not 0.5. All right, there we go. So we have our emitters all keyed up, and so we'll see you in the next clip.